more twists, more turns. Oh, this was really, really good. Really, really good.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is actually going to be, it's season 4, it's episode 8 of the Have and the Have-Nots. Tyler, you really got me this time. So, right out the gate, we found out Tyler pulled a fast one. He pulled a fast one. The stinking whore from Child Protective Services, Oscar paid her. He did actually pay her $25,000 to get Candace to actually to be able to say that she needed to, a judge needed to see that she needed more money. That whole transaction of her actually showing the computer and all of that, that was all a plan of Oscar's. He paid her $25,000 for that. Now all of that for 25 G's, you didn't got your ass kicked. And Candace told her, I want my money back, but I don't want 25,000. She asked her, what did you do with it? She was I spent it. She said, well, I want my money. I want it. So she ended up saying, I'll go to the credit union. I won't even call the police. You know, that it. Because I can lose my job for a year's salary. Stupid. She told her, listen, and that's to read a year's salary, child. She said, I want 100,000 and my son. Well, I can't do that. You got 6 days. Now get the fuck out. 100 G's and my son, bitch. Get on out of here. I said, no, she ain't acting like war, child. Said, you fucking around with war, bitch. Do you have 6 days? Okay? In 6 days, she won't have to worry about it because war already be done had your ass under the steps stinking. Lord have mercy. So that was the best. So she goes on out of there. And her and Erica even actually start talking. She basically explains to Erica what's going on with her in war. And Erica's like, you know, we found out some more stuff about Erica. That's what she's like. She's like, maybe my mother was right. Why is it that I can't can't stop getting myself into these situations? And Erica's like, girl, listen, don't keep saying that. Your mother's not right. Because if your mother's right, then that means my father's right. Child, she said Hannah was a Bible thumper, and then her father was a preacher. I said, these two, child, you got the damn old church woman, honey, and the damn preacher's kid, the two biggest whores in the town, honey. I love it. I love it, honey. But they talked about war and how war had actually done this to 2 other girls, and I guess he killed them. They named them. Then they talk about Benny. They're going to need Benny to mortgage the house. She has to get Benny to mortgage the house to try to get this money together. So Candace like she got to figure out how to tell Benny to mortgage the house. Without telling Benny what's all going on because she said Benny's ass is crazy, like war. So that would create a war. If Benny knew that war was doing all this, they would go to war. And yeah, we see that craziness in Benny. Benny's eyes be dancing in his head and shit. So I was like, okay, cool. So then we got them, and the 2 of them are like, come on, let's get this together. Let's go, bitch. We got to find Oscar, this, that, and the other. Well, Landon's next. Poor Landon. I'm like, y'all can't keep jumping on these people who ain't got nothing to do with this. But then, you know, because I believe that the child from Protective Services was actually innocent. But I don't think Landon had anything to do with this. But whatever. I really do believe that Landon is innocent, but they on their way to get Landon's ass. So that'll be in a further episode, I'm sure. But that's the last we seen of them. They were on their way to fuck up Landon. Or try to get some information out of him or fuck him up, one of the two. So I said, oh, okay. Anyway, so Oscar comes back to David and confirms that Maggie was involved and that Maggie was behind the whole picture situation. So, of course, David is pissed with Maggie. Maggie ends up coming in because after Oscar left, Catherine had came into the office and going back and forth with David, and you know, she's like, nobody wants to help me, this, that, thing, and the other. And David's like, I know, Catherine, I know this, that, and the other. And she was kind of browbeating David, and he's not telling her anything. And she's like pissed. And then Maggie comes in, and Maggie, she's like, who got you out, David? He said, Maggie, And she says, but why didn't you get Jim out? She said, because I didn't want to. David had told her that she pulled some favors for him. She didn't pull no favors for Jim. Like, no, ma'am. And you need to create some distance between you and Jim. And she's like, what are you talking about? That's my husband. Instead of, she said, I know who he is, honey. Your husband done did some stuff, and it's too hot for him. And I'm telling you, it'd be in your best interest to put some distance between you and him because he's going down. Honey, Catherine told her ass off and stormed on out of there with her little self. Child, I saw shit. That outfit looked terrible on Catherine. She looked like a goddamn egg with some shoes on. Poor thing. Anyway, then Maggie turns around and says something to David. David's like, you shouldn't have lied to me about those pictures. Child, he walked out. Child, poor Maggie was in there crying her goddamn eyes out because she done fucked up with David and ran the dick off, child. I said, okay, don't worry about it, girl. He'll get over it. But he stormed on out there looking fabulous. Of course, he had tried to contact Betty and all of that. So he ends up he goes to see Hannah. He goes to the house. That damn Wyatt, before we even get to David at the house, Wyatt has actually gone down to see Jennifer. The bank was really the guy from the bank was trying to contact Catherine and them to tell Catherine about what's going on with the trust for the money for Wyatt. And she's like blowing him off because she's so busy trying to get Jim out of jail and all this. So they ain't talked to her. Jennifer ends up calling him, the guy at the bank, tell him, don't be trying to hold that up and don't be calling the criers because you got a court order. You go get it done. But in the meantime, between time, we got to see Wyatt. Wyatt is just as scared of his parents. Why he put all this shit into motion is beyond me because he is literally scared of Catherine and Jim. He's scared of them. Oh, scary bitch. I said, Lord have mercy. So he's running around, but that's all looks like it's going to happen for him. And he's going to get the money, and he was really spending it up already, buying a condo, and had all this motherfucking cocaine. I said, oh, you junkie bitch. A big old thing cocaine. And everybody that Wyatt deals with, they're all junkies. They're all junkies, but they're just not as fucked up as he is. And they all like, you gonna share? You gonna share? And he like, yeah, do what I need you to do, and then yeah. I ain't never understood why junkies feel the need to be so giving. A junkie will steal you fucking blind trying to get high, but always got to drag a bitch with them to get high. I never understood that. And then you get high with the people that sell you the shit to get high. That's the dumbest shit in the world. But it's something really prevalent with junkies. I just thought, dumb junkie motherfuckers. But anyway. Okay, so let me get back on track. Okay, so Hannah and David have this whole little thing. Maybe they was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And Hannah basically told David, look, yeah, I know why I ran my son over, and I know that all of y'all knew. And he ain't telling her everything, but he's telling her, you might as well go on. They're going to be home for what time? Sit right here. I'm not going nowhere until I get my check. I want my check. Okay? And I ain't for none of y'all's bullshit. So then he gets to telling Hannah how he wants to meet with Benny. And she's like, you want to meet with my son about what? And so he's going back and forth. And he's just saying, I just want them to meet with her, and they go on about the involvement. And he's not going too deep, but about the involvement with my wife. And she said, I guess you think I'm just some old stupid maid, huh? I'm stupid. I'm going to sit here and tell you things about my son. Really? Like I don't know how you people carry on. And then she got to calling him by his first name, which was funny as hell because she always says Mr. Harrington. And she said, I'm not getting ready to sit and tell you nothing about my son, David. And he said something. And he said, she said, don't you dare threaten my son. Don't ever threaten my son, David. Do you understand me? And I was like, okay, come on, Hannah. So Hannah she's not happy at all. And she said, what you need to do, if you got a problem with what went on with my son and your wife, you need to ask your wife. He said, I tried to talk to your son. And she said, what did he say? She said, he told me to ask my wife. And she said, yeah, see, I don't have to get him about that because I raised him better. And he's looking, and I'm like, what the fuck Hannah talking about? She said, what he should have told you is to go and ask your trifling ass wife, David. I said, oh, damn Hannah. So David was like, oh, suck that up and walked out of there. He was mad as fire. Got on that phone and called Oscar, told Oscar, shake it up over there at that place, reroute the calls. Had Benny's calls rerouted back to the old business telephone number, so they're just going in a dead air. All their calls are just going in a dead air. I said, oh, that dirty ass, damn David. So it didn't take very long before Benny figures this out. And Benny came to the office to see David, okay? Gets down there, honey. And they got to have a little conversation. First, David's in there having a little back and forth with Maggie and, scolding her about her bullshit. Her and Landon was in there because Landon was trying to help her out because she crying all over the place. In the meantime, before Benny walked in there, they have court hearing for Jim and Veronica to try to get them out. So they got their lawyer, and Catherine got their lawyer, and the lawyer and Catherine are sitting there. And the lawyer's like, she said, he's going to help you too, Veronica, because David's not going to come. And Jim's like laughing about the whole thing. And she's like, shut up, Jim. You just keep on laughing. He said, oh, no, you don't even realize how much I want you to get out of here. I really want you to get out. I really do. I said, oh, he's so damn ignorant because he knows this bitch going to get popped. So I said, oh, my God. So the lawyer says, and this is just how much of a bitch Veronica is, you need counsel, Mrs. Harrington, so I'm going to take care of your situation, too. I'll get you out of here. She going to say, no, honey, I'll be counsel for myself, honey. I don't need your help. And he's saying, no, Mrs. Harrington, seriously, you really need someone. She said, how many times did I beat you in court? 30, 32, 33, something like that. Why would I want you to be my counsel? Honey, I'll be taking care of myself. I said, oh, you stinking bitch. But sure enough, they get to court. The judge is like, They got it all fixed up, honey. Jim is trying to, they told Jim, no, honey, no. Denied his parole for Jim. They denied him. Jim done cussed out the judge and ended up with 30 days for contempt of court on top of everything else. As Jim called the judge all kind of sons of bitches. I said, oh, he told him, you want to go for 60 days? He's like, motherfucker. I said, all right, Jim. So Jim got to stay. Veronica, when they got to Veronica said, I didn't have to. She used her own defense. She said, I didn't have to do anything because legally I couldn't even speak about things because I am counsel for my son, Jeffrey. Jennifer's over on the other side. She's like, that's not true. And Jeffrey will testify that she is not counsel for him. And they're like, the judge said, that's something for a court hearing. It's not for this. It's not for a bail hearing. So Miss Harrington is free to go. So this bitch done got out of jail. Thinking she did something. She done winked at him and shit. I said, girl. And Jim's like, bitch. Go on, bitch. Don't child. He got somebody sitting with some hot lead waiting on her ass. I said, Lord have mercy. Okay, so anyway. So Benny and David ended up coming face to face. They go into David's office and they're talking back and forth. He's telling him, get my phone. He said, I know you done did some bullshit with my phone. Get my phone back online and get it back online now. I ain't for this bullshit and I ain't playing with you, old dude. And now he was real, about with that. And they're going back and forth. And he's asking him how long was it going on, this, that thing, and the other. Child, he said, didn't I tell you that I ain't with all this shit? You got a problem. It happened a couple of times. That shit happened a couple of times. I ain't think about this shit. Your wife came after me. That ain't my problem. That's you and her problem. He said, now listen, you get my motherfucking phones and shit back working, or it's going to get ugly. Ain't nobody scared of you. You get my shit back working. Said my sister told me all about y'all and the way y'all do things and all y'all's bullshit. So I says, okay. So then David's like, you don't even know what you're dealing with, young man. This, that thing, and the other. He gonna say, didn't I tell you to get my shit back on and quit playing games with me? Said, I'll knock your old ass out right now. Child David said, you arrogant little son of a bitch, and snatched that motherfucking Betty up by his neck. I said, ooh, shit. And Betty grabbed David, and they got themselves. They was just distraught. I said, "Oh shit!" So, right when all that was getting real good, Landon came in and said, "Mr. Harrington, your wife just made bail. This, that, the other." Child, he turned around and said, "She's out of jail." He said, "Yeah." Child, David let go of Betty, and Betty was like, "Oh, motherfucker," and he went running off. Oh, funny as hell. We're running off. I said, here we go, honey. Shit is getting ready to get it, honey. So that was it. That's where Tyler left. Tyler, damn you. He left us hanging right there. Oh, it was so good, child. I loved it. I loved it. I will see y'all next week, child. This shit is too much. So thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how all that works. And I will get with y'all next Tuesday. All right, guys. Bye.